Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over oil and natural gas, do our daily technical analysis update, and we'll jump right into the charts. I'll give you my financial opinion. Here we go. This is oil. So we've got light crude oil futures behind me. We have an up day today. It's a hammer candlestick pattern. Usually these are short-term bottoms where we could head on higher. We could bounce around here for a little bit where we hit our head on this resistance line and come back down. We could break through it. The opportunities are endless, right? Of what we could do. What would I do? I would do nothing. I would hold on to my shares, and in fact, I would be a buyer of maybe some of these companies. I'll let you know which ones I like, but I'm still an ultra bull with the inventories as low, with the deficit that we're running in oil, with the capacities not increasing OPEC, on and on and on and on, with the potential shortages, supply chain shortages for producing. I'm a bull. Natural gas, yeah, down a little bit today. It's still large up day, two little small down days. I still think this looks pretty solid. Sideways to higher is what I see in it. XOP, yeah, we came down a little bit today. We're right at the support line. We'll see if that support line holds. If oil goes up, I'm pretty sure these will go up. And we're right at the support line for SM Energy on this support line here coming on up. We're right there on it. CDEV's another one that's right on the support line, so we'll see if it holds. Crew Energy, this guy's, I didn't even draw the support line, right? Hold on, guys. Man, it's somewhere down here. Let me see if I can back out here, guys. About right there, because it hits on this, hits on all those, hits on these. Yeah, and then, well, remember, guys, this is a rising wedge. We could go up to the top of the rising wedge and break out to the downside and rest for a little bit, but we'll see what happens. The valuations of all this stuff is really good. We've got inflation in the system. Everything looks good from a long-term perspective. But this is the pattern. We're right at the bottom of this, coming to the bottom of the pattern. 250-ish is about where the bottom of the pattern is. CPE, been bouncing sideways here. Just moving sideways, coming up into this resistance line. We're squeezing up. Athabasca oil had a little bit of a down day today. It is kind of a bearish piercing type pattern. We could have a little bit sideways to lower on it, depending on what oil does. Recap's playing with its support line. It wants to do that. Kind of a bearish engulfing. We could break out to the downside here, guys. We'll see what happens. Crescent Point Energy, it's squeezing up. We're right at the support line for Crescent Point Energy right now. Northern Oil and Gas, looking at this guy, we are above. Yeah, we're right there. If we on this guy here going down, we'd like to break that and start moving higher for Northern Oil and Gas. GTE, again, a little bit of a sell-off today. This is a bearish engulfing. We could head a little bit lower with it. And again, I'm not selling anything. I'm just holding on. Tellurian, this one does look like it wants to go lower. Whenever you have these patterns that kind of come up like this and squeeze up and then break to the downside, we could see a little bit more downside in Tellurian. Pedavco, we're right at this resistance line. We have a bearish engulfing, a little bit of an update today, so we're hitting our head on it. OAS coming a little bit down. We could have a larger pullback in OAS if this support doesn't hold. CRK, just bouncing sideways on CRK. SD, it's a bullish engulfing here. The day yesterday was a bullish engulfing, but we had a down day today. It's just moving sideways. I don't really see a clear direction here. Ring Energy just moving sideways. Trillion Energies. I don't play those small little guys like that. Surge Energy, bearish engulfing, could head a little bit lower back to support. See if we hold that support. Tamarack Valley Energy coming a little bit of a down day today. We are squeezing up in this rising wedge. We'll see if we break to the downside for OIH. The overall markets could drag all this stuff down, guys. Tetra Technologies heading lower today. Man, these things are reversing. A little bit lower in Rig, Transocean. kind of coming on up and getting some selling pressure. PUMP moving sideways. EXTN, we're moving sideways on that. Valaris, we're just bouncing sideways on it. MRM still looking good. A little bit of a bullish piercing pattern in that one. TDW just tracking sideways, small little down day today. There's some support underneath it. Looking at NEX, just moving sideways, still looks good. CHX, we're at the support line down here, trying to find some support. This is a bullish piercing type pattern. Means it could go higher. WHD just moving sideways, resting on its cheetah for cactus. A resting cheetah. OII, we're right at this resistance line here. We'll see. I was hoping that this could break higher, but this is a rising wedge. They usually break to the downside, usually. Noble Energy, it's breaking out above its support, so that's good. It's above support. Helix Energy Solutions coming back into the pattern today. And CGGYY, a small little update today. Big picture view, though, everything looks good for a bottoming type pattern there. So that's what I see today, guys. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I'm really, honestly, I'm pretty indifferent on all this stuff. If I have to ride out a pullback, I'd ride out a pullback. If we go up, we go up. The short term doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't affect me. I mean, I look at this, what affects me more is actually coming in front of everybody and then telling you guys that we could have a potential pullback. And I know that everybody wants their stocks to go straight higher. The markets just don't work that way. They cycle up and down. They have impulse moves higher. They pull back. Impulse move higher. They pull back. Sometimes they get correlated. Sometimes they get uncorrelated. When things start to sell off, like the overall markets in the S&P 500, the markets in the NASDAQ, they're selling off right now. So they're going to drag some of this stuff lower. They're going to pull some things in certain directions that you don't want them to go. We are still highly correlated. We still have a lot of leverage in the system. And the way that I view a lot of this stuff is, where else am I going to put my money? Where else am I going to put it? And the way that I ride these things is I buy them when the valuations are cheap. That's your ratios. I'll do a ratio video coming up, and I'll let you guys know what looks good. And then I just ride it. I don't trade the short term. I try my best to time my purchases, and that's about all you can do. The people who trade short term, I just don't know anybody who's successfully done it. So I've been riding this stuff. You buy it when it's cheap. You continue to cost average in. You use your strategy. You deploy X amount of money into whether it be uranium, oil, and then gold or whatever else you guys like, fertilizer, agriculture, real estate, a stock portion of it, or healthcare, or insurance companies, or emerging markets. You figure out a strategy, you stick to it, you put your money in there. And when things get out of whack, maybe you start adding new money into other sectors that are down. That's what I do. And I kind of just let it all ride if the market conditions are good for that sector. If the sector looks like it's starting to get a little bit overvalued, the ratio's going up, it looks like it's getting toppy at the end of a commodity boom, then I start reallocating money to something else. That's just how I play this stuff. And I'm not trading in and out on the short term. I just don't, it hasn't worked for me. It's not going to work probably for most people. And all these charts look really good on a long-term perspective. So if we do get a short-term pullback, I'm not doing anything. I'm looking at it as buy the dips, hold the rips, and ride it for the entire bull market. That's my strategy. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.